Wagwan, beautiful souls. It's Marcia C, and welcome back to another episode of Her Sacred Soul Space. Today, on this episode, I am joined by Evie. She's such a beautiful soul and has such a beautiful spirit. Along with her beautiful spirit, she's also a psychic medium, a dream interpreter, and a tarot card reader. She helps her clients to connect with the different spiritual energies that are present within their lives. She's able to provide her clients with a safe and healing environment. And I think that is so important, where they can receive messages of guidance and healing directly from their spirit guides. Girl, you're so shining. Not only just reading your bio makes me feel so at peace, just your glow that you have today. So thank you so much and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Most definitely. I'm delighted and I can't wait for us to catch a vibe and just to connect as we discuss her shadow. But before we go into that, I love to center. I love to get us into that space where spirit could just use us as the vessel to share the message for our viewers today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate for this episode the box breathing that Paula Herlock taught us in a couple episodes before. And if you haven't watched that, go ahead and check it out. It's called Rediscovering Her Soul Alignment. And we're going to do the box breathing. And basically what that is to inhale 4 times, up to 4 times, like hold 4 and then release 4. Okay. So you're going to inhale and count 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, and release 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to do this sequence like 3 times. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Ready? You ready? Let's
Mhm.
do this. And breathe in and hold and release. And as we center ourselves, I just want to encourage you to just to be open to receive the message that is coming in today and just to see your light and be your light. And let's do a second set. And we're going to breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. And then release. And finally, one more time, breathe in and hold and release. Yeah. Mm. Thank you. Thank you. Feeling so grateful to have you, Evie. So we are getting into shadow work, her shadow work, connected to her shadow. When I think about shadow, Evie, one of the things that are memories that came to mind is just being a little girl and on the island in the island, and when our power was out, we call it current. When our power was out, and we have to use the candles or the lamp. And to buy time, we would just lay on the bed and play with our shadow and create, little animals, animated stuff like giraffes and ducks, and create a little cartoon type of series. Me and my sister, and I realized that once we're done playing with our shadow, we think that's it. It's gone. It's not there. As an adult, we then realize there is a shadow part of us that, like we do when we're kids, when we have a toy, once you play with it and you get tired of it, you just put it down and it's no longer an interest. But our shadow still speak to us and is still a part of us and still depicts the life that we want to live or choose to live in a way, right? And so I'm excited to talk to you today about shadow work and love to hear about your experience with that, your personal experience or experience with clients, and how is it that you came about to be connected with this work that you even help your clients during this process. So share with me, what do you consider shadow work to be?
Well, shadow work is the process of looking at the parts of ourselves that we deny or reject or disown, sitting with those parts and learning about them. And the shadow is always with us. It's always going to be there. But due to how we're raised and what society teaches us, a lot of things about ourselves we hide and we keep hidden. Shadow work for me is a beautiful path to the enlightenment of getting to know yourself as a whole being, getting to know your soul, and just creating a beautiful relationship with yourself. Shadow work has helped me work through generational trauma. It's helped me to look at how I relate to other people in the world, and look at better ways to relate to other people in the world. It's also helped me with how I raise my sons and how I interact with them and the things that I want to teach them. When I've just recently actually started calling it shadow work within the last maybe 2 or 3 years. When I first started doing it, I didn't know that it had a name or anything like that. It was just something that I wanted to do to better myself and make myself a better woman. So I used to call it deprogramming and reprogramming, because a lot of the aspects of our shadow that we want to hide have a lot to do with what we're programmed, what's programmed into us when we're born. When we come into this world, we have particular things that come with us, our different aspects of our personality, just those core things from our soul about ourselves. However, as we grow, a lot of the programs that we run, or the shadow things that we have, are things that are programmed into us through our caregivers and the people that are around us. So there's a lot of things that we may dislike, but it's not that we dislike it. It's just that someone else has told us that we shouldn't like it. And that's what shadow work does. Shadow work helps us to
Right.
sit down and look at all those programs that you have running, and decide what programs do you want to keep running and what programs do you need to let go of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And one of the things too that I find regarding this, that some of the programming doesn't necessarily comes directly from your household, your immediate household. It can
Uh-huh.
be from just the companionship that you have, or the community as a whole, or
Yeah,
even social media. You know what I mean? And
absolutely,
so
absolutely.
it's what sticks. Yeah, what sticks to you, right? What the programming that sticks. Some of it may bounce off, but some is going to stick, and you think it's there to serve you. Or maybe it did. It did at the time. But as we journey on, as we elevate, as we reach a different or higher level of consciousness, we see that the programming doesn't serve us anymore.
Yeah,
Um, how is it that, tell me something, like, for me, when I realize that I'm in need of some form of deprogramming, as you would say it, or the shadow work, it's when I have realized I have a thought that, or a behavior that I noticed about me, and I was like, why is this here? Why is it so hard for me to open in this way? A case in point, let me share this point. I noticed that I'm having a hard time with letting people in my space, people that are not my core soul sisters. And it could be someone that, if I'm around them with friends, with other people, I'm cool. But when it comes on to a connection, like individual one-on-one type of connection, I find that I may be somewhat resistant in a way.
uh-huh.
And I said, "Why do you do that, Marish?" That's how I talked to myself. I was like, "Why do you do that, Marish? Why is it that you are um being resistant to this connection that's coming in?" And that's when I realized that this is some shadow work that you have to do, because I then go back to see, is this just happening now, or it has occurred before, whether it is 3 months ago or 5 months ago. I go back and dissect the pattern, and that's when I know there's something here that needs to be done. Do you find that to be familiar for you or your clients, or which other
Yeah.
ways you see when the shadow comes up that I need to step in and work with that?
It's a lot of things, but mostly being a single mother. I was a young mother. I got pregnant with my son when I
Hmm.
was about 19. And, there are all these
Hmm.
negative ideas about single motherhood. And through my growth and trying to raise him, I allowed a lot of those negative ideas about single motherhood to stick to me. And those ideas, I was allowing them to hold me at a certain level. And it's like I wanted to go to a different level. But because of those ideas and programs that I had planned, it's like I could never really reach that level. So once I started doing shadow work, I was able to sit down and look at these programs and say, well, why do you think this about yourself? Or, who why is it that you believe that you can't make more money or make this amount of money as a single mother. Like, where did that come from? Who's told you that? And just looking at it and being able to say, well, no, these things, this is not, what it is. Do I want to keep that idea or do I want to get rid of that idea? So single motherhood, I had to do a lot of shadow work with that, and I come from a household that's not very helpful. Like I have a lot of generational trauma, so a lot of that goes along with the ideas and thoughts that I had about being a single mother. So yeah, it can shadow work is I think it's a wonderful thing because it helps you to really sit down and look at your stuff. And but you in order to do shadow work though, you have to be um consciously open and real with yourself. Like you have to be willing to be honest and real with yourself. Because if you're not going to be honest and real with yourself about the things that you see and you look at, then it's not going to help you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. And we have to see that shadow as a part of us. It
Yeah,
is not, which means that if you're going to embrace your entire being or
yeah,
embrace who you see in front of you when you look in the mirror, you have to be able to also embrace the other side that you don't see when you look in the mirror. And
yeah,
if your eyes are open, I'm just going to get open enough, you will see the other side as well when you do look in the mirror. But until you get to that stage, just to be open to embrace all aspect of who you are. And that indeed can be super difficult
yeah.
because you are, thinking for other people, thinking that they too are seeing you this way. And
Uh-huh.
you are the one who's seen yourself in this particular way. So can we kind of talk a little bit more about how can we meet our shadow? How can we embrace it in such a way, in such a healthy and healing way that we realize it's okay, and we realize it's okay to like this part of us that is not completely serving us in the way we want it to, and knowing that we can in turn make it become one of our assets. How can we meet our shadow?
Well, there are a few different techniques that people use. I've written down three that I particularly like. The first one is doing emotional inquiry. So an emotional inquiry is where you get triggered by something and you start feeling something. You want to ask yourself, why am I feeling this? No, well, first, what am I feeling? What is this that I'm feeling? It could be jealousy. You could be feeling jealous about something. Well, this is jealousy that I'm feeling. Then you want to ask yourself, why am I feeling jealous? And you want to take a look at why. What is it that,
Yeah,
what is it that I'm jealous about? Well, I feel like this person makes more money than I do. And you're like, okay, well, I'm feeling jealousy. I'm jealous because I feel like this person makes more money than I do. Um, what beliefs do I have around being jealous and people who make more money than I do? And it's just taking that time and step by step going through it and analyzing it. And then at the end of it, go ahead and feel that jealousy. Go ahead and let it work and feel through it, and then you let it go. And then you take the time and say, okay, well, I'm jealous because I feel like they have more money than I do, and I want to be making that much, the type of money that they're making. So, what can I do on my end? Because it all comes back to you and what you can do. What can I do on my end to get me to where I need to be to make more money? And it's just that taking that time to do that emotional inquiry. Daily journaling. I like journaling because sometimes it can be hard to look at the stuff about yourself. Sometimes it can be difficult. And with journaling, you can write it down. And once you finish writing it down, you can throw it away. You've written it down, you've worked through it, and now you can throw it away. You have it available to you. You understand. You gained an understanding about yourself, but now it's time to move to something else. So with journaling, I like journal prompts. I have a couple that I've written down here. Um, what triggers me in life and my relationship? So you can sit and pick something that triggers you, certain people's behaviors or certain behaviors that you have. Um, when I love this one. When and how do I judge others? Because we all do it. People will say, "Well, I don't judge anyone."
Yes,
No,
we do.
everyone judges someone about some aspect about their life. Everyone. We judge ourselves the hardest, but everyone judges someone.
Yeah.
So I love that journal prompt because it gives you an opportunity to look at things. Because this is shadow work is a lot about looking at things. Because when things are in the subconscious, you're not looking at it. So you look at it and you answer those questions through writing them down. What's another one I have? What do I not like about myself? What do I not like about myself? There's a lot of us, we don't, especially in this world now, it's like affirmations. I am this and I am that. But when you have to do that shadow work because we have things about ourselves that we don't like. Everyone does. So you got to sit down and ask yourself that and then write that down and look at it. And once you look at something and you see it for what it is, it's much easier to have an understanding for it and to just build that relationship with yourself. Um, what are things I envy in others? Because those feelings, envy, jealousy, even hatred, we don't want to look at those. We want to push those to the side and keep it moving. Oh, I'm a great, wonderful person, and that's not the reality of it. If you want to be 100%, balanced, you got to understand. Yes, we all get jealous. We all get envious. We all have these things, but you got to look at it and understand the why. Why do you feel that way? And then work through that why.
No, I was going to say one of the things when it comes on to when you said not taking ownership of the certain behavior, and in one way, I was thinking oftentimes they do or we do, but it's just that we cover it up. We use an
Yeah.
exam, we use a facade for it, I guess, in a way
Yeah.
to say, well, that's just how I am. That's just me. So deal
Yeah.
with it. If you don't want to be around me, then bye. Versus looking at the fact that this is something that I need to work through. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the third tool that I like using for shadow work is plant medicine, particularly psilocybin mushrooms. I've found that mushrooms are amazing for shadow work because mushrooms they kill the ego. And once you have the ego out of the way,
Hmm.
then you're really able to sit down and feel and look at the things about yourself that you don't necessarily like. So those three things I've used, and I feel like they're good for shadow work.
Mm, okay. Interesting. We're definitely going to have an episode on mushroom healing, using mushroom to the different ways to use it to heal and to help us to grow. Um,
Uh-huh.
what about dreams? Because, oftentimes for me, a lot of stuff pops up in my dreams. That's where I got to get a lot of revelation. And then I will, in the morning, I'll lay in my bed and just like, okay, what does that mean? What's the message in this? And I know as a dream interpreter, you have a lot of clients that may have gone through the same thing, or even yourself gone through the same thing, and just to find out, oh, this is a shadow that I need to work on. How can you tell me your experience with dreams and shadow work?
Well, with dreaming, first off, I tell people if you want to dive into your dreams, the best thing you can do is have a dream journal. Because having a dream journal will help you, and writing in it every morning after you wake up helps you to be able to look back over things and you'll start to see a repetitive pattern. And once you start seeing a repetitive pattern, then you can point it out and then you once again go into the shadow work of being able to look at it. Um, with dreams, it's the subconscious trying to tell you things and give you messages, and the subconscious doesn't use um, conscious thought. The subconscious is not going to just say you need to start drinking more water because you're dehydrated. The subconscious in a dream is going to have you standing somewhere and a waterfall splashes you and knocks you and you roll all around, or something of that nature.
Yeah.
So, so that's where you just have to write things down and look at it and begin to understand because you'll start to see a pattern. If you really keep track of what you're writing down, you'll start to see a pattern. And having the understanding that the subconscious uses symbols and symbolism. So um, you have to have an understanding of what particular things mean to you. If you have a dream for about a week and every dream you've had, you see you're either standing in a body of water or you're near a body of water, or like I said, the waterfall is coming. You got to start, looking at, well, what does all this water mean to me? What does seeing a lot of water mean to me? You might also notice that your skin is kind of dry. You start to take note. Well, my skin is kind of dry. It's been kind of dry lately. I'm more tired than usual. I'm not going to the bathroom as much as I need to be. I'm constipated, and you write these things down, and you start to see, okay, my body's trying to tell me I'm dehydrated. Like I'm not drinking enough water. This is something I deal with regularly. So that's how the dreams work. But I love dreams. I don't know how I didn't even have that down here. It's one of my, you know,
I know.
that you hear my shadow work. I'm like that should have been number one. But yeah, so the dream work is amazing, and I love the dreams also because it puts us in a position where spirit can talk to us in our dreams. And I've had my grandmother come into my dreams often and sit me on her couch in her house and tell me, this is what you need to work on as far as like shadow work and things like that. So dreams are amazing. They're definitely a good key for doing shadow work.
Yeah, like I said, that's where I get a lot of my messages, and then I will just have a knowing. And even if I wake up the next day and do not remember the dream, a knowing will just come, and I was like, hold on,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
familiar. Oh, snap, that was in my dream, you know?
yeah,
And then
yeah.
I start to go within and breathe slowly. I could still be doing something, whether it's driving or whatever, but I am still there talking, trying to remember, trying to dissect, try to get the message because I know it always have a meaning for me, whether it's for me or someone else. It always comes with something big, and I hate it when I can't remember. Oh my God,
Correct.
girl, I hate it. I hate it so much sometimes when I can't remember the dream. So it's good to know. So yeah, going just like I said, when you can't remember, for those of us who do not remember our dreams, but we know we all do. And like I said, a lot of things comes up in our dream for shadow work that we need to get done. How do you approach that?
Well, for me, part of it is understanding. If you have the belief and the understanding that your dreams are important to you, then you start programming your subconscious to understand my dreams are important. I want to remember. And it's just about speaking mantras. What I do is on the mornings where I wake up and I don't remember my dream, I speak a mantra to myself. My dream was important. I want to remember it. My dream was important. I will remember it. And I'll say that to myself throughout the day. And sometimes I'll say it before I go to bed. And what happens is I might not remember that particular dream that I had, but I'll have another dream with that same message in it. So that because it's not necessarily about the dream, it's about getting the message that the dream was trying to deliver to you. And it's all
Yeah,
about
yeah,
you know, helping your subconscious understand that your dreams are important to you. Because the reality of it is, we live in a society that does not value our dreams. We
yes,
barely value sleep. So with that programming on a societal level, with that programming, it tells our subconscious, hey, my dreams are not important. It's not that big a deal. But when you start doing the work and you get the dream journal and you start taking the time to write that date down and write those dreams down, you're programming your subconscious to understand, okay, she's doing all this because her dreams are important to her. Let's give her some more dreams. Let's help her remember her dreams. So it's all about your intention, setting that intention, letting your subconscious know that my dreams are important, and it'll start helping you to remember them more.
yeah. Wow, that's beautiful. Well said. Thank you. I
Thank you.
love that. Yeah.
Thank
I know we kind of in our discussion tapped on it a little bit, but I just wanted to kind of bring it back up as to why do we think people are afraid of the shadow itself or a shadow side? Why is it that we want to run from it versus embrace it? Um, I remember when was doing mirror work, when I started doing shadow work, and one of my first ones where tool I utilized was mirror work. And I know what it's like because I became afraid because I was seeing beyond my eyes, right? And I was like, whoa, for the first time, I was like, whoa. And I didn't know how to continue approach it because I was afraid of what was going to come up behind the eyes, beyond my eyes, what was going to come up for me. And so stopped. I stopped. And months went by, then I started back up again because I needed it. It's like I needed to, what do we say, catch my bearing, or needed to recognize that I am indeed on a solid foundation and it's okay for me to go forth with this. Um, I don't know. It was just fear for me. In your opinion, what do you think is other reasons why individuals would want to hide from their shadow self and to do the work needed?
Um, well, there's that I think it's called an acronym with fear, false evidence appearing real. We have all these ideas of what the dark and shadows and demons and all that type of stuff, and those types of programming can cause that fear. Like you don't know what is going to come up. You don't know what's going to happen. You might be afraid to look at what it is, and I think that fear just comes from programming, and it's all about
Mhm.
just being brave and just going through it. This is what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it, and just stepping forward. A lot of the fear is just programming. What we're told, well, this might happen, that might happen, or just the anxiety that we create in ourselves because we don't know what's on the
Yeah.
other side of what we're trying to do. We only see what we're trying to do. We don't know what's on the other side. And I think that's what comes
Beyond,
up for
yeah.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, when I was looking beyond my eyes, and that kind of scared me a little bit. And one of the things I realized too, the fear goes beyond your personal fear. It could be the fear of what others may think of
Uh
me
huh.
because I am doing this work, um, or may think that you're just wasting your time.
Yeah.
And so once again, I always say this, it's important to know who's in your ears, whose
Uh
words
huh.
or whose
Yeah.
voice you're hearing. In other
Yeah.
words, yeah. Yeah. Um, so beautiful. Do you want us to have some fun, some even more fun, and play around and see what comes in? I know you're a tarot card reader, and
Yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted to go in and either pull a card for our viewers or even me, whatever you're led to, whatever spirit leads you to do.
Okay.
I just want you to know now is a fun time to do so.
Okay. So I have my tarot deck here, and I have my animal spirit oracle deck here. So what I can do is I'll pull. Let's see. I'll pull three cards from my tarot deck first, and then I'll pull one card from my animal spirit deck. So what I like to do is, before I do a reading, I'll just say a little prayer. I'll call in your spirit guides, call in my spirit guides, and create a protective barrier around the space. So let's close our eyes. Archangel Michael, I ask that you come into this space and create a protective barrier around it. I ask that you only allow in energies of a high vibration and unconditional love. I call in Marsha's peace, spirits that she has around her who want to share a message of healing and guidance. And I call in my spirit guide to come in and help me to share this message of guidance. And I thank you all for coming into this space. And so it is. All right. Let's see. I like to give my cards a good shuffle to get all the energy moving through them.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So the three cards I pulled for you are the Chariot. Now, can you see that? The Chariot.
Hmm.
And the Chariot is a major arcana card. Major arcana cards symbolize major life decisions, major life energy. And the Chariot is an energy of moving forward in the direction that you're supposed to be moving in. You see how she's sitting, she's just calm, she's the queen. She's sitting there, she has these two sphinx here, which balances out her direction that she's going in. So she doesn't have to worry about anything, she's going in the right direction. The next card we have is the Six of Wands. Now, the Six of Wands is a minor arcana, minor arcana card, and the minor arcana cards usually carry energies of day to day. type of thing. So the Six of Wands is about being proud of where you are, being put above other people, put on a pedestal and being proud of what you've accomplished or what you're about to do, having people patting you on the back and telling you you're doing a good job, and just feeling like you're in the right space that you're supposed to be in and being happy. Then we have the Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands is also a minor arcana card, and the Page of Wands is an energy of some type of message coming in. So, either a message going out to someone or you receiving a message in. And with it being Wands energy, that's about fire, that's about something energetic. So, I feel like it feels like you are in the process of moving in a direction that's going to make you feel really, really good. You're going to be sharing messages.
Yeah.
I feel like some type of message that you're going to be sharing, and it's going to make you feel good that you're able to get this message out here to whomever you're supposed to be getting it out here to. um, I get a sense that with this Chariot card, there's an energy of maybe you were wondering if you were going in the right direction or if this is the direction that you should be going in. And I feel like with this Chariot energy, it's telling you, yes, you're going in the right direction. Just chill. My attention is being really brought to this woman that's sitting up here, and she's just relaxed. She's chill.
Yes.
She's like, I'm just, this is where I'm going. They got it. I don't have to do anything. And with that energy, I feel like maybe
Yeah.
you were possibly feeling like you weren't going in the right direction, like you weren't doing it correctly. But now you're getting into a space where you're like, yes, I am. And you're coming into this energy of being, proud and patting yourself on the back and just like, yes, this is it. I'm going right. Is that does that resonate?
Oh, definitely. It
Okay.
definitely resonated because listen, I'm just sitting here like, okay, okay, girl, you know what you're doing. The thing because there's something that's in my spirit that came for me to do, and I know I'm supposed to do it. And but at the same time, I was kind of hesitant about it. And so when you're talking, that's what came back to me in my spirit that this is it. This is what she's referring to. This
Okay.
is where I want to take you now, you know? And so yeah, so definitely that resonated. So I'm definitely going to be praying more about it. And so I could have know how to write the vision and make it plain, so it could manifest and become fruitful, not only for me, but for those who are going to be a part of it as well. So
Now I have
definitely resonated.
one more message that I'm getting because I decided to look at the bottom of the deck, and this is the Four of
Mhm,
Pentacles. Now the Four of Pentacles is an energy of holding things
mhm.
close to you. So I feel like Spirit wants you, whatever it is that you're trying to put together, hold it close to your chest, and don't tell too many people about what it is that you're trying to do.
Wow.
Okay.
Because
So
this is so cool because when I was just giving you my feedback and I was going to say it and it says I got no, don't say it. Just
uh-huh.
express how the fact that what she says resonates without saying what is it that makes it resonate so much. Do you get what I mean? So and
Yes.
then there goes the bottom card. Hey. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm
Yeah.
going to pull a card from my Animal Wisdom Spirit deck, and this is just a card with just some guidance to leave you with this is what I do to close out my reading. So, all right,
Yeah.
let's see. And I
Okay.
like this deck because I like working with animal energy. Like animal energy is a good energy to work with also when you're working with your shadow side because animals
Yeah.
can just act they're just animals, they just do it, and sometimes we need to connect with that animal. um there's a word I'm looking for to use on the tip of my tongue, that animal aggression or those animalistic um characteristics that sometimes we need to connect to also. So I
Yeah.
love working
Yeah.
with
I do love
animal energy.
the I love the healing energy of animals. And for me,
Mhm.
one of the part when I was doing my healing, my shadow work healing, horses is what
Oh,
called me. The energy of horses, the frequency of horses. And I was so blessed to have a friend who had horses. So I would go there on the weekends and just spend hours just sitting on the ranch, just embracing their energies. And the beautiful thing is that the right one will come up to you. the right one in the space that you're in for the healing that you need, for the work you need to do. The right horse will come up to you with that energy of that peace or just confirmation. And you will wonder what is going on. And they're just there. And once they have served you, they go away. I love it. I just so love it.
That sounds beautiful.
So
I
I
haven't
do
spent
love
much time
animal
with
healing.
horses, but I do know they have a strong energy about them, very strong and very powerful energy about
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
animal energy that I pulled for you is the pronghorn action. So I'm going to read this to you. Now
Mm.
is the time to act. Opportunities are here. Move forward with confidence. Your talents will always help you land on the pinnacle. Your quick wit and keen senses will lead you to success.
Mm. Wow. I received that. Yay. Thank you. I received that. Yes. Wow, this is so beautiful. Thank you so much. And to our viewers, this is just one of the modalities that can be used to help you as well while you are on your shadow work journey, while you're connected to your shadow. Um, and as we mentioned before, there are other modalities like the dream interpretations and or even just stepping into the psychic and medium arena field or and just to have messages being transferred that way as to what area or aspect of your life you need to work on. um, and the cool thing about, and this is for me with tarot, the cool thing is when you have a message, when you receive the message, it's up to you because everybody has freedom of choice. It's up to you whether
Yeah,
or not you want to receive it in your soul space or whether or not you want to act on it or just not, correct?
yeah,
Because we can, no, you can't force it.
right,
It's just a choice. You get to choose. You get to choose.
yeah,
Um, so Evie, I know that you also wanted to share with us a journal writing prompt for our viewers to
yeah.
utilize after watching this episode so they can start their shadow work journey. Share that with us, please. Beautiful.
So basically, this is just a journaling prompt that can be used at the end of the day. Once you've gone through your day, you're getting ready for bed, however you do your bedtime routine. The journaling prompt is, what is heavy on my heart and mind today? You want to write that down and you want to
Mhm.
look at it and then you want to answer why. Why is this heavy on my heart and mind today? And that's just a little journal prompt that you can use to get you're getting started into doing shadow work.
Okay. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Um, I've heard this before. Um, to, just like you just said, ask yourself the question before you go to sleep, and the answer will come, whether it's through a dream or even waking up the next morning and having a conversation with someone, and the answer may just come through that. So
Yeah,
I think it's really awesome for you to tap into this and to try asking yourself um, the questions needed in order for you to start the journey. And you don't have to start big and don't watch anyone else when you're starting your journey.
no,
It doesn't matter how far along on this journey they are. You are at the right place at the right time
yeah,
starting this journey. And it is going to be very, very beautiful for you, regardless of how difficult it may seem in the beginning. Trust me when I say this, in the end, you're going to love yourself even more and all the other aspects of yourself that you had rejected in the past. And even the parts of you that you may not have completely 100% um, have a footing on and you still have lots more work to do, it's okay. You're going to learn how to embrace that and not see it as or want to reject it as a rejection or want to reject it in a way as if it's so taboo.
yeah.
So I look forward to getting your feedbacks on this. I look forward to hearing your stories, sharing their stories, right, Evie, as to how you started your shadow work journey and how you're finding it. Share with us. We'd love to hear that. Thank you again, Evie, for coming out, for hanging with me, for chilling with me, for vibing, catch up vibes with me, and
Thank you for having
for
me.
sharing your gifts. Yes, yes, I'm excited, and I look forward to having you back again. And until then, my beautiful viewers, one love and walk good. Bye.